The world of celebrity drama has been rocked once again, this time by none other than Cassie Ventura, whose shocking allegations against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs have sent waves of disbelief and intrigue rippling through both the entertainment industry and the public at large. For years, Diddy has stood as a towering figure in the world of hip-hop and R&B, celebrated not only for his business acumen but also for his larger-than-life persona. Yet beneath the glitz and glamour of his empire lies a dark underbelly that Cassie's recent claims threaten to expose fully. According to reports surfacing across social media and insider circles, Cassie has stepped forward with explosive accusations that paint a harrowing picture of manipulation, exploitation, and control during her time tied to Diddy's orbit. Cassie, who first rose to fame in 2006 with her chart-topping hit Me and You, became closely associated with Diddy after he signed her to his Bad Boy Records label. At the time, she was seen as the next big star poised to take the industry by storm under his guidance. However, insiders now allege that what started as a professional partnership quickly devolved into something far more sinister. Sources close to Cassie reveal that she endured years of psychological torment and emotional abuse, claiming that Diddy exerted an iron grip over nearly every aspect of her life, from her career decisions to her personal relationships. What makes these allegations particularly chilling is the methodical way in which Cassie describes being groomed into submission. Friends recount how Diddy allegedly isolated her from peers and collaborators, ensuring that she remained dependent on him for validation and support. This calculated approach reportedly extended to her creative output as well. Despite possessing undeniable talent, Cassie struggled to release new music consistently, leading many fans to speculate about behind-the-scenes interference. Now those whispers are transforming into full-blown theories as evidence begins to emerge corroborating her account. At the center of this unfolding scandal is the question of why it took so long for Cassie to come forward. Supporters argue that the fear of retaliation and perhaps even physical harm kept her silent for years. After all, Diddy's reputation precedes him, a man whose wealth and influence have often shielded him from accountability. But recent developments suggest that Cassie may no longer be alone in her fight. Other individuals, including former employees and collaborators within Diddy's inner circle, are beginning to break their silence, adding layers of credibility to her story. Together, these voices form a chorus of accusation that threatens to dismantle one of the most powerful legacies in modern music history. As details continue to trickle out, the public finds itself grappling with uncomfortable truths about the price of fame and the lengths some will go to maintain power. The narrative unfolding around Cassie and Diddy serves as a stark reminder that behind the carefully curated images of success lie stories of struggle, survival, and resilience. And while the outcome of this saga remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the stakes could not be higher, not just for those directly involved, but for an entire industry built on dreams and secrets. In the midst of this whirlwind, questions linger about what comes next. Will Cassie's bravery inspire others to step forward? Can the legal system hold someone of Diddy's stature accountable? Or will the machinery of celebrity culture once again sweep these allegations under the rug, preserving the status quo? As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of accusations, revelations, and implications, one can't help but wonder whether justice will prevail, or if the truth will remain buried beneath the weight of ambition and denial. To truly understand the depth of Cassie's allegations against Diddy, it's essential to dissect the specific claims she has brought to light, each one painting a disturbing portrait of coercion and degradation that spanned much of her adult life. According to sources privy to her account, one of the most alarming aspects of her ordeal involves what she describes as ritualistic behavior orchestrated by Diddy during private gatherings at his luxurious estates. These events, allegedly attended by high-profile celebrities, executives, and even lesser-known participants lured under false pretenses, were said to involve bizarre ceremonies where attendees were coerced into participating in acts they later described as degrading and traumatizing. One particularly harrowing claim centers on the use of controlled substances as a tool for manipulation. Cassie reportedly revealed that Diddy would often provide drugs to guests, ostensibly to create an atmosphere of uninhibited fun, but in reality to lower inhibitions and ensure compliance with increasingly extreme demands. Insiders describe scenarios where individuals were pressured into engaging in sexual acts or other humiliating activities, all while being filmed without consent. The recordings, according to Cassie, were then used as leverage to keep victims silent, effectively trapping them in a cycle of fear and shame. Adding another layer of horror to the narrative are allegations of animal involvement in these rituals, a detail so grotesque that it initially seemed implausible to outsiders. Multiple witnesses corroborated Cassie's claims, stating that animals were sometimes brought into the proceedings, purportedly to heighten the sense of chaos and disorientation. One source recounted how participants were allegedly forced to interact with horses and dogs in ways designed to humiliate and degrade them further. The psychological toll of such experiences cannot be overstated. leaving lasting scars on those subjected to these twisted displays of power. Perhaps most damning of all are the accusations regarding underage individuals allegedly present at some of these gatherings. While Diddy has long denied any wrongdoing, Cassie insists that minors were occasionally invited, or more accurately, smuggled into these events, raising serious concerns about human trafficking and exploitation. She claims that these young victims, many of whom hailed from impoverished backgrounds in third-world countries, were plied with alcohol and drugs before being thrust into situations they couldn't possibly comprehend or escape. Some insiders have even suggested that the purpose of these rituals went beyond mere sadism, hinting at darker motives tied to occult practices and the harvesting of adrenochrome, a substance rumored to be extracted from traumatized individuals for its supposed rejuvenating properties. The logistics of these operations, as described by Cassie, point to a meticulously organized network operating under Diddy's watchful eye. Former associates speak of secretive protocols, including encrypted communications and non-disclosure agreements enforced with threats of violence or financial ruin. Those who dared to resist or express discomfort were allegedly met with swift retribution, ranging from professional blacklisting to outright intimidation. It's within this context that Cassie's decision to finally speak out takes on added significance. Hers is not merely a tale of personal victimization, but part of a broader pattern of systemic abuse perpetuated by someone with virtually limitless resources at their disposal. Yet amidst the grim litany of accusations, there remains a glimmer of hope. By bringing these dark secrets into the open, Cassie has sparked a chain reaction among others who've lived through similar nightmares. Their collective courage may yet prove to be Diddy's undoing, as mounting pressure forces authorities to take action against a man whose reach once seemed untouchable. The reverberations of Cassie's explosive allegations against Diddy are already making themselves felt across multiple layers of the entertainment industry, sparking a wave of introspection and calls for reform that extend far beyond the confines of this particular scandal. Industry insiders report a palpable shift in attitudes, with figures from all echelons of the business voicing concerns about the unchecked power wielded by moguls like Diddy and demanding greater transparency and accountability. This reckoning comes at a critical juncture as audiences grow increasingly disillusioned with the glossy facades presented by celebrities and corporate entities alike, yearning instead for authenticity and ethical conduct. One of the most immediate impacts has been a surge in advocacy for stronger protections for artists, particularly those early in their careers who are often vulnerable to exploitation. Prominent voices within the music community have begun pushing for legislative changes aimed at curbing predatory practices, advocating for measures such as mandatory background checks for producers and managers, stricter enforcement of labor laws governing minors, and the establishment of independent oversight bodies to investigate misconduct claims. These proposals reflect a growing recognition that the current system, rife with loopholes and complicity, has failed countless aspiring talents over the years. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds where opinions collide, reflecting the polarized reactions to Cassie's revelations. On one side, supporters rally around hashtags like #protect our artists and break the silence, emphasizing the urgent need for systemic change. They argue that silence equals complicity and urge fans to demand better from the stars they admire. Conversely, skeptics dismiss the allegations as opportunistic attempts to gain attention or settle scores, questioning the timing and motivations behind Cassie's decision to come forward now. Behind the scenes, studios and record labels find themselves scrambling to reevaluate internal policies and safeguard reputations amid mounting scrutiny. Executives are reportedly drafting new guidelines aimed at preventing burnout and ensuring proper support systems are in place for young artists. Navigating the treacherous waters of fame, some companies have gone so far as to implement age restrictions on certain types of contracts, recognizing the unique challenges faced by minors thrust into the limelight too soon. These efforts represent significant departures from previous norms, signaling a potential sea change in how the industry approaches talent development and management. However, skepticism persists among critics who warn against conflating performative activism with genuine progress. They argue that without sustained commitment and meaningful action, these initiatives risk devolving into empty gestures meant to placate public outrage rather than address root causes. Indeed, past attempts at reform have faltered due to entrenched interests unwilling to relinquish privilege or confront uncomfortable truths. Whether this moment proves different hinges largely on whether stakeholders prioritize long-term cultural shifts over short-term optics. Public discourse has also shifted, with audiences increasingly holding celebrities accountable for speaking out about their experiences. Fans demand transparency, viewing silence as tantamount to endorsement of harmful norms. This cultural shift places additional pressure on stars to address controversies head-on, lest they risk alienating supporters or appearing indifferent to larger societal issues perpetuated by the very industry under fire. In the midst of this chaos, unexpected alliances have formed as artists unite under the banner of advocacy and reform. Veteran performers who endured similar hardships in their youth have joined forces with emerging talents, sharing resources and strategies for navigating the pitfalls of fame. Collaborative projects aimed at raising awareness about mental health and promoting safe working conditions have gained traction, fueled by a shared commitment to creating a more equitable future for the next wave of entertainers. These grassroots movements serve as powerful counterpoints to institutional resistance, demonstrating the strength of solidarity and driving meaningful change. Legal experts predict a rise in litigation related to parental mismanagement and negligence in the entertainment sector. As more individuals come forward with allegations of mistreatment, lawyers anticipate a wave of lawsuits targeting negligent guardians and exploitative organizations. These cases could set important precedents, clarifying the legal obligations of parents and managers entrusted with guiding young careers. If successful, they might pave the way for stronger protections and recourse options for victims of abuse, marking a pivotal moment in the fight for justice. Looking ahead, the implications of this feud promise to reshape not only individual trajectories but also the very fabric of celebrity culture. Future generations of artists may find themselves operating under radically different conditions, shaped by the lessons learned from past mistakes. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale or a call to arms, the saga of Cassie and Diddy stands as a testament to the enduring complexity of human relationships, and the indelible mark left by those brave enough or unfortunate enough to challenge the status quo. As the dust begins to settle, or rather refuses to settle, it becomes clear that this saga will leave lasting marks on both individual careers and the broader cultural landscape. For Cassie, the road ahead promises to be fraught with challenges. Legal experts suggest that regardless of the outcome, the sheer scale of media attention generated by this dispute has already altered public perception in ways that may prove difficult to reverse. The extensive documentation of every accusation, rebuttal and meme ensures that this chapter of her life will be analyzed and referenced for years to come, shaping how similar situations are handled moving forward. From a psychological perspective, the toll of this prolonged public battle cannot be overstated. Both Cassie and Diddy must contend with the emotional wear and tear of being at the center of such intense scrutiny. Therapists specializing in working with high-profile clients note that the constant barrage of opinions, whether supportive or critical, can lead to heightened anxiety, paranoia, and even identity crises as individuals struggle to reconcile their private selves with their public images. The implications for Hollywood's broader culture of accountability are equally significant. This feud has highlighted the precarious balance between calling out perceived hypocrisy and engaging in character assassination, raising important questions about the ethics of public discourse in an era where cancel culture and public shaming have become prevalent tools for holding individuals accountable. The case of Cassie versus Diddy underscores the fine line between justified criticism and outright vilification, forcing both fans and industry insiders to confront uncomfortable truths about how we handle disputes in the public eye. One of the most significant implications of this feud lies in its potential to reshape how power dynamics are addressed within the entertainment world. By dragging these allegations into the open regardless of their veracity, those testifying against Cassie have inadvertently sparked conversations about privilege, access, and the uneven playing field that exists behind the scenes. For instance, if claims of favoritism or manipulation prove true, they could serve as a catalyst for reform, prompting studios, agents, and producers to reevaluate how decisions are made and who benefits from them. However, there's also the risk that this kind of public reckoning devolves into spectacle rather than substance. Critics argue that the current climate incentivizes sensationalism over resolution, encouraging individuals to air grievances not out of principle but for clout or revenge. In Cassie's case, some wonder whether the testimonies leveled against her stem from genuine harm or jealousy over her success, a question that complicates efforts to discern truth from fabrication. Moreover, the psychological toll of such disputes cannot be underestimated. While figures like Cassie may appear untouchable due to their wealth and influence, the constant scrutiny takes a toll, with mental health professionals warning of burnout, anxiety, and even depression among celebrities embroiled in prolonged controversies. Conversely, those coming forward must also grapple with the consequences of speaking out, knowing full well that doing so might invite backlash or jeopardize future opportunities. The ripple effects extend beyond individual careers, influencing broader cultural attitudes toward fame and redemption. Audiences today demand authenticity from their idols, yet paradoxically they're quick to tear down anyone perceived as falling short of perfection. This catch-22 creates an environment where no one wins. Celebrities feel pressured to present flawless personas, while fans oscillate between idolization and disillusionment depending on the latest scandal. In the midst of this turmoil, some see an opportunity for meaningful change. Advocates for greater accountability argue that high-profile feuds like this can serve as teachable moments, encouraging both stars and their supporters to reflect on deeper issues such as empathy, forgiveness, and the importance of separating art from artist. Others remain skeptical, viewing these episodes as mere distractions from larger societal problems perpetuated by the very industry under fire. Ultimately, what makes this saga so compelling and so dangerous is its universality. Whether you side with Cassie or believe the testimonies against her, the underlying themes resonate far beyond Hollywood's borders. Questions about trust, loyalty, and justice transcend celebrity gossip, tapping into fundamental human concerns about fairness, integrity, and the lengths we're willing to go to protect our reputations or destroy someone else's. As the drama unfolds, one thing remains certain: whoever chooses to testify next will wield immense power, not just over Cassie's legacy but over the collective conscience of an industry grappling with its own contradictions. Will they opt for restraint, choosing to address grievances privately and allow cooler heads to prevail? Or will they seize the moment, using their platform to amplify allegations that could irreparably damage Cassie's standing? Whatever path they choose, the repercussions will echo far beyond the confines of this particular feud, shaping the trajectory of accountability in Hollywood for years to come. To understand the gravity of this explosive revelation, it's crucial to delve deeper into the specific claims surrounding Cassie's alleged trauma, and the role Diddy reportedly played in precipitating it. According to insider accounts, the incident unfolded during a particularly volatile phase in Cassie's life, characterized by mounting pressure to maintain her status as the face of Bad Boy Records, while simultaneously managing the complexities of adolescence. At the heart of the controversy lies Diddy,